This is awful. Just think what this could do to my reputation.
Anything would be an improvement.
It's time. It's time for serial viewing! Welcome to episode 27. This week we watched the Beverly Hills Teens. It ran for a total of 65 episodes in a single series in the far-flung past of 1987. Well, the Teens of Beverly Hills shows us what it is like to live the life of the spoiled rich while navigating typical teenage concerns, including schoolwork, friendships, and romantic rivalries. We watched episode 1 called Double Surfing Double Cross, in which the double surfing contest is here, but Bianca and Piers both attempt to sabotage Lark and Troy. All these names! Joining me is Jennifer.
Woohoo!
And Jeremy.
There are so many names.
Bad names.
Bad names.
Now, all of us, it's been a long time since any of us has been a teenager, or a rich one, so we may not relate particularly well to this. I'm going to apologise now, Jeremy, for making you listen to the score on this, because it was...
Yeah, it was
awful.
It was interesting. Well, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't remember any of it. I did remember the theme song.
Do you know what? I kind of remember the theme song, but it just turns into DuckTales if I try and sing it.
Yeah. Maybe that's where, because I swear I've heard this before. And I was like, oh, is this really famous? And I mean, I've heard of Beverly Hills Teens, but I haven't heard of, I've never watched the show. And I was like, oh, maybe it is just DuckTales.
Well, that leads me nicely into, has anyone ever heard of Beverly Hills Teens, the cartoon show, before?
The name?
I don't remember it. I have no memory of it. But when I listened to the titles, it was literally like smacking me in the head.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
But I don't know whether that's because I maybe have watched this when I was younger, or the fact that it literally spewed 80s and sounded like the Bangles at the same time.
Painfully 80s.
I personally had never heard of this. Never heard of Beverly Hills Teens before, but I knew it was on the list, and it was just awful enough that I've been dying to watch it. Oh, I should explain. At the end of last episode 26, we did say that we were going to be watching British classic Why Don't You this week, but there is a surprising lack of information on Why Don't You. I found a couple of episodes on YouTube, but they were terrible, and we didn't think we could do it justice, so we ditched it for one of the backups, which was Beverly Hills Teens.
Oh no.
Oh no. Why don't you not ever watch Why Don't You? Because it's terrible.
That lasted for
and nobody watched it. I don't know anyone who admitted to A, liking it or B, watching it, so I'd love to know how it kept getting in. But anyway, that's Why Don't You. We didn't watch it. We may do it again in the future if we can find a decent copy, because I wanted one of the really old 1970, 1980 ones, and all I could find was the cringe-inducing ones from the 90s, which were still not cringe-inducing enough. Anyway, whoosh.
This is the first time that we've not been able to find a show.
It's been touch and go a couple of times, but we've usually found something somewhere. If you'd like to watch Beverly Hills Teens and find out what we're talking about, it is on YouTube. Nearly all of it is on YouTube. Okay, so we think we may have heard of this one before, but no one's entirely too sure. So the theme tune, the really, really forgettable, bland theme tune. You see, you're going into DuckTales.
Yeah, I know. That's all I can think of now. I can't hear it anymore.
Did you like the credits, Jennifer?
Not really.
No.
As I said, I do like a good 80s tune, and they were Bangle-esque, but
Here in Beverly Hills.
DuckTales.
I can't remember it.
No, that was it. It was really bland. It was there, and then it ended. My very first note which I wrote whilst the credits were going. It wasn't even the credits. It says, I already hate the character designs. It hasn't even started yet. The way they were drawn.
Well, were they designed to be Barbie dolls?
Yes, that's exactly what they looked like. It was creepy.
Yeah.
It was uncanny valley weird. I didn't like it.
It was a bit like Gem as well.
That was my second note. I'm getting Gem and the hologram vibes off of this.
Just with the bands and the 80s.
The hairstyles.
Hairstyles.
Okay, so the hairstyles. Oh my God. So the really forgettable theme music aside, and then the constant background score. It was constant all the way through. I am impressed. These Beverly Hills Teens, who were all supposed to be about 16 years old, 15, 16. The band, Jet and whatever his name was.
British stereotype.
That's it, yep. Yeah. Rock and roll, love. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Even though he's 16.
Yeah.
They are obviously consummate, amazing musicians because they were managing to play keyboard with their guitars.
Yeah, I was going to say. None of this happened. And it was such a weird mix of live events that they were doing. They were playing, but nobody was paying attention to them because they were all doing Pilates or whatever.
They're doing jazzercise.
They were doing a live aerobics class to the music instead of listening to a cassette player.
That's just weird.
Well, yeah.
Can either of you tell me where they were?
Not Beverly Hills.
What do you mean?
Where were they? They were in a big fancy building. Where were they?
High school?
It's supposed to be like the teen club or something.
It is the teen club, which was this was done on purpose because it was supposed to be. It started off as the high school, but they didn't want to have to deal with classes and timetables and like that, the high school stuff. So it became the teen club, which was never explained. But yeah, well done. Jennifer can have a point for that one.
Ooh.
Yes. So this is another Deke Enterprises production. We've had many. I don't know what that says about Deke Enterprises production, their values.
What
that
else
we
did
had.
they do?
Dogtanian.
Oh.
Ulysses.
Really?
That was a joint Deke Japanese studio. I can't remember what it was.
Fair.
So this was touted by the producers as a response to the more violent cartoons that were happening at the time. So the G.I. Joes and He-Man and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they wanted something a bit more less violent. So they said the new series would be less action-based and more character-driven. Ooh. And would provide wholesome role models for kids.
Wholesome role models?
Thank you.
You gotta be kidding.
They were just a bunch of horny 16-year-olds.
Yeah, but they were all
spoiled,
typical,
horny 16-year-olds.
Yeah, but the two band members, I didn't get that they were teenagers.
They were all teenagers. They're all either 15 or 16, apart from the young one whose name I didn't bother capturing.
Yeah, I can't remember what the kid's name.
Gizmo, Brains, whatever.
Joe Twat.
Oh, harsh. Who was also a horny little bugger because he was just banging on about getting a girlfriend.
Honestly, he was getting them as well. I was a bit worried at one point. I was like, stop kissing him.
Actually, yeah, right. So Lark, which is an awful name.
That's the worst one for me.
I apologise if there is someone out there in our listening audience called Lark. But did your parents not like you? So she's also 15, 16, whatever. And when Bianca goes into the shop to buy the bathing suit, Lark is laying on the floor in a relatively small bikini while grown men take pictures of her.
She's in a swimsuit and she explains that she's on doing the magazine cover.
It still
she's 16.
It still felt a little weird to me.
It wasn't weird, but it was 80 pervy.
It was a bit.
Which was, yeah. In the 80s, there's a picture of naked Brooke Shields as at 12 in a bath, isn't there?
I suppose so. It's still
not good.
Still creepy.
Yeah, it's not weird, it's pervy. But that's just the times. You wouldn't get it now.
So we've got Lark is arguably one of the main characters. She's supposed to be the lead, the poster girl. What was her boyfriend called? Kendall.
Jeff?
Was it Pierce? Or Troy?
Pierce.
No, Pierce.
Pierce was the dickhead one.
Yeah, he was the one who was trying to get him. He was like Pierce Jeffrey the Third or something.
International Playboy 16-year-old.
Yeah, but there are, I can guarantee you there are Beverly Hills 16-year-old boys who think they are international playboys because their mum took them to Mexico once for summer.
They go to Cabo once a week.
Yeah. And then you've got Bianca, who's the bad girl, who is a 16-year-old girl who dresses like a 45-year-old alcoholic Hollywood star.
Did you see what her original name was?
No.
So her original name was Raven, but they changed it to Bianca. And none of them say Bianca, they all say Bianca.
Bianca.
Bianca. And it's like, Bianca?
Now, her driver, Wilshire, he's also supposed to be a Beverly Hills teen who's obsessed with her, so he drives her around and everything.
Yeah.
But he's also a 16-year-old with a driving licence who's driving a limo around unsupervised with another 16-year-old in the car.
Yeah.
Dressed
like a postman.
Although, I don't know, he's supposed to be, I don't know, he's like the buffoon, he's the slightly odd one out. But when they got to the beach, he's the buff one. He's the bad boy's like...
Yeah.
I thought he was fat.
Yeah, but so did I. And then he got to the thing and he took it off. He was... Wilshire boys, he's hench.
Oh, okay.
It's alright, he was the only one with any redeemable qualities.
Really?
I mean, he was a bit of a simp. In fact, a big simp. But
he was the simp.
Yeah.
The little one was alright. At least he was intelligent.
Nah.
Yeah, he was intelligent and horny.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is a bit annoying.
I'm not... Okay, so it's not violent, it is character-driven. Loose terms there. But there was... I forgot where I was going to go with that. There's nothing really happened.
Nothing happened.
It was just... I mean, they touted it as like, it's going to be really character-driven, and it was just, this is a bunch of teenagers who live to excess. Because one of them even says that they've run out of... So they're driving the limo, being driven by another 16-year-old in a bikini, and they've got like a jacuzzi in the back, and then there's an ice cream bar, and oh no, we've run out of whipped cream. Oh, we'll have to trade it in then. So it's just that, there's like really... I'm not sure that's a good message. It's really... I know it's the 80s, and greed is good, and consumerism and all that, but...
Yeah, all I got was vacuous morons.
Yeah, but are we looking through it as the lens... Would a young Jenny in 87, what you would have been early teen?
Yeah, no, this would have pissed me off.
What about like 8 or 9? Because I'm not quite sure what age group this is aimed at.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like these kind of characters. I can see the appeal to some girls.
Well, this was touted as being aimed at boys and girls, but I can't imagine. Many boys.
A certain type of boy.
Well, many boys. I can't imagine many
maybe.
boys watching this.
You know, the type of boy that likes other boys would watch this and enjoy it.
Yeah. But even then, I feel it's just like, it's very much centered around the girls' plot. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I think that it makes sense if that's what they're really going for.
I think that might be why...
Yeah, maybe it was just this one.
I think that might be... No, it's a common theme between all the episodes where everyone's like horny for each other and they're trying to get each other's attention. It's a running gag. But I think that's partly why I know I did, got Gem and the Holograms vibes, because it is focused on a group of girls who happen to have some boys around who have a bit more agency in this one than Gems and Holograms. It felt like the same thing, except one had secret powers to form a band and the other had the secret power of millions of dollars.
Yeah, Gem and the Holograms have slightly more potential than this.
Yeah.
So what I found shocking about this, considering the episode we watched, the lead writer on the show is a chap called Jack Mendelsohn, who was a very prolific and successful TV scriptwriter in the 80s. The only thing that what really jumped out was that he co-wrote the animated Beatles movie Yellow Submarine.
Oh.
So he goes from writing like proper surreal trippy shit to the Beatles movie.
Ba-dum-bum.
Oh, and why was the guitar talking?
Yeah.
What? Where?
Why did
what?
And why did it turn into a surfboard?
Well, because it's not just a guitar.
Well, we get that and can talk, but where the hell did that come?
I can't remember what it was called.
Plot device? Deus Ex Guitar?
I didn't like this show. I'm going to be honest.
No, I don't.
No, I didn't. I didn't. We must just get it all out
I
there
watched
now.
it with my housemate. And it was...
Oh, really?
It was yeah. Just because we were having lunch. And then I decided to watch it then because that's the time I had. And it was just... It was so cheesily bad. Like... I could watch another episode of Gem and the Holograms. I'd gouge my own eyes out before watching an episode of this. Again. Like, and I think the one we did of Gem was probably not a fair choice. Because I feel like they do other stuff except have sleepovers. In that show. Whereas this feels like the best episode it could have been.
This is it.
There was a robot shark. He wrestled a shark, which he should have gotten shark burn for.
Yeah, so the credits ended. They were all like jazzercising, and then Jet, the female half of the musical duo, she spoke, and I immediately had to type round, "Oh fuck no," because she has got, I mean, in a show of bad accents and awful, irritating voice, hers was just
stereotypes.
It was fingernails down a blackboard. It was awful.
Oh, hers wasn't the irritates me. It was Pierce, or it was the crappy British rock star.
Yeah.
I mean, I did put in here, I put the accents are all over the place and they're all bad.
They just had to distinguish the characters because they all look the same.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
The person who does the voice for Bianca does a voice of about 5 of them. So, yeah.
Probably.
They all had the same shaped eyes. The hair, I think the hair was like the primary distinguishing feature, and some of them had amazing hair. I mean, Jet was practically a tennis ball with the amount of hair she had wrapped around it.
Do you know what it reminded me? Early Bratz dolls.
Ooh, yes,
that's
the eyes.
The vibes I got from that.
Yes.
Was that these were meant for dolls. These were meant to be...
Yes.
I'm surprised. Do they have anything like that out of Beverly Hills Teens?
I couldn't find any. There's surprisingly little merchandise, yeah.
It just... Yeah, I'm surprised.
I don't think it was as popular as they was expecting it to.
No, not at all. I don't know why. I couldn't find out why, the reason for this, but a handful of the episodes and the intro were randomly done by a Japanese animation house. But I don't know why. I think maybe that the American animators just needed a break because this is shit.
Yeah, maybe it was not making any money.
Don't make me draw their eyes again. Okay, so there was another show being produced by Deke at the same time called Maxie's World. Very similar premise. There is an episode in Maxie's World called Beach Blanket Battle, where the Beverly Hills Teens, they visit Surfside High School, where Maxie's World takes place, and they compete in a challenge. So there was a whole crossover episode. So I think they were hoping to like try and cross-pollinate some fans. So maybe some Maxie's World fans would find Beverly Hills Teens and then go start watching that. I can't imagine it worked. But to differentiate the two groups of teens, they had to like change the way the Beverly Hills Teens looked, like hair and everything, because they looked identical to the other ones. So here, let's have a crossover. You can't look the same.
Yeah, let's have a crossover with our own show.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's a good idea, trying to create a shared world, almost like a franchise kind of thing. But maybe have something decent to put in the shared world to start with.
Which do you think came first? Was it Beverly Hills 90210, 56789?
This came first.
This came first. So do you reckon Beverly Hills was all of this?
It's a direct sequel.
I did say that massively confidently, and I'm going to look it up now.
Beverly Hills 902107600.
Yeah, someone look that up.
What, Beverly Hills?
Yeah, when was that? Because this was 1987. This was the second half of 1987.
I think 90210 is after. Yeah, it's 1990.
This is 90, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, wait. 90210 is not a cop show. I'm thinking of Beverly Hills Cop.
No, it's an early 20s teen show.
But they're all they go to Beverly Hills high school, and 90210 is the area zip code of where all the rich kids live, and the Hollywood.
It's a weird title.
So they're all like, they're all trying to be actors and actresses.
Do you reckon that's why they called it 90210? Because Beverly Hills Teens was already taken?
Yeah, possibly.
Because I can't think of any other thing to call it. Beverly Hills Fun.
Well, 90210 was the zip code of that area.
But it's not a catchy
real
title.
Zip code.
No.
Well, I don't
But
know.
it was
a popular TV series.
It was massively popular. It was ridiculous.
Got
I have
10
definitely heard of
seasons, and I can honestly say I never watched one single episode.
I did.
I freaking hate it.
Yep, I hated it, but there was some attractive women on it.
I was going to
so
say
I used to watch it. What can I say? Does anyone remember a character called Radley?
Radley.
Yeah.
Was he the surfer dude?
I thought that was the guitar.
I don't know. Radley. There's a character called
someone
Radley.
was called Radley because I thought it was Raleigh.
Raleigh. No. Anyway, there is I don't know if he's in this episode or if he's late in the series, but there is a character called Radley who is almost every line he says is copied directly from Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I reckon he is the surfer dude.
I do as well.
Yeah, I would believe it.
There's another one bit following. Bradley wipes out, studies for a high school test so that it makes him eligible to compete in the high school surfing comp.
Yeah, that's got to be him. Anyway, yeah, all of his lines, I'm tempted to go back and just listen to his lines just to see if it's true, were lifted directly from Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is a travesty.
I can get that listening to him.
Yeah. He's just got that surfer dude voice though instead. And when he came up, I immediately thought of him as a cheap He-Man. So it's alright. I'm using that.
G-Man.
Yeah, Chi-Man.
I've got the power to pick up a discount sword.
So I did. One of my notes was ice cream car, jacuzzi limo. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, I did. Right, I want that car too.
I'd end up driving it though.
No. If we're having that car, we would have somebody to drive it, you nerd.
Yeah, Whitney did.
Well, they didn't. Lark was driving it.
But it's Lark's car. I don't know. That's a stupid TV show.
Does
Jeremy?
champagne taste good with ice cream?
Champagne doesn't taste good with anything.
Nah.
Ice cream in champagne. Champagne.
An ice cream float. Champagne float. Can I have a bottle of Dom Perignon? Yes, that's $200 a bottle. Yeah, and can I have some soft serve ice cream? Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Give me some walls.
Just dump that in there.
Not even good stuff, just walls.
Yeah, that's like really cheap. Tesco's value.
No.
Vanilla scoop.
I'm very sophisticated. So you got your martini glass with your champagne in it, then you get a chalk ice.
Yeah.
Just kind of weird. Sophisticated.
Plop, and just leave the wrapper on as well. So just
Cornetto. Such a upside down cornetto in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be mint choc chip flavour.
I too am a man of sophistication.
Oh, mint choc chip might actually be really nice.
As long as you pop the finger, you'll be fine.
Absolutely. Fancy. So it is a cartoon, it is animated. What did we ignoring the terrible character design and the shit script, what did you think of the actual animation itself?
It was just very 80s, it's just really cheap.
Yeah. There wasn't anything wrong. I mean, there was a point where I thought they fluffed up, but then I realised that the shark was actually going to be a real shark. Because I thought that they'd changed it and made it look like a real shark, as in it was going to be a thing, but I was like, oh wait, no. It probably is a real shark.
Yeah.
That was the softest punch I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to watch the episode, basically this real shark kind of pops out of the water, and Lark, because she's a clever girl, knows they've got sensitive noses, so I'm going to punch it on the nose, and then it comes out, and she just kind of goes.
He goes.
Yeah. Boop. And then it kind of goes cross-eyed, gets a red nose, and swims away. But I'm impressed that was in there because well done. That's actual
I
educational
wouldn't
moment.
punch a shark that goes like this directly at a boat.
Well, if it jumps out and stops and look at you, I think you're going to be all right.
I'm telling you, they could have done the shark burn. That would have been good.
What are you going on about
Shark burn. Shark skin
burn's
is
a real thing.
Shark skin is really.
Shark skin is like
Oh,
sandpaper.
you're talking about, yeah.
So it's a common thing for people who like rub against sharks, and he was like on top of it to get like literal like sandpaper burns.
What perverts are rubbing up against sharks?
Pierce, apparently.
He's probably have some road rash.
Yeah.
That's completely thrown me now. I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, in a very, very surprising move, in 1989, the series as a whole was nominated for the Youth in Film Award. So this is an award. It didn't win, but it got 2 nominations. But it was nominated as Best Animated Series. Apparently by blind, deaf judges.
But you said this lasts for 2 months, right?
Yep.
In 1987.
I think it was September to
Why
October.
in 1989 are they going to award it?
I don't
Who
know.
paid who?
Oh, because it's America, so it would have gone into...
with who?
They would have made it, shown it, and then it would have gone into syndication.
Yeah, it went into
That's true.
syndication.
Yes, and then they would have been showing it in Wisconsin and Florida and American Air Force air
Somebody
carriers.
paid some money somewhere.
Well, one of my notes
1980s America.
One of my notes was I am really not surprised this didn't get a second season.
No.
It didn't last long. So has anyone got a contender for the worst line in the show? Does anyone remember?
Oh, so many.
It was Jet again. Jet has become my personal love to hate. She gets rescued, I think it was, by the guitar surfboard or whatever. I can't remember. Oh no, she's good. When they're just about to go out on the surf competition with Pierce, she goes primo to the extremo, radical.
The 80s.
Oh, one of them said something to the max or something, and that totally took me back to the 80s.
I think it was her as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably.
I know they're really rich, but why have they installed a wave machine in the sea?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Did they put a wave machine in?
Yeah, because she's bullying Wilshire to turn it all the way up, and he won't do it, so she pushes him, and she turns the dial up on the wave machine on the beach. Sorry, the wave's not enough. You want more waves?
And then
Is it a private lake? Was it the ocean?
no, it's LA. I assume.
I think you're just giving them too much credit, really.
I didn't pay that much attention, so I don't know.
Oh, can one of you look at... I want to know if double surfing is a thing, where you get 2 surfboards nailed together. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Because I dismissed it and I thought, hang on, that's just...
No, double up surfing is 2 people on one surf.
But not 2
I thought that was a
surfboards.
thing.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it was literally just 2 surfboards right next to each other. I could believe that, but it just seemed a bit weird.
Isn't that like those yachts that have the
Wait,
The catamarans, yeah.
backdoor surfing.
Wait, what? That's...
Ugh.
Don't look at that site. Don't go to that site!
Oh,
This happened after
not
the
that
credits
bad.
roll.
My eyes!
Can we talk about the fact that the young, very horny boy created a mouse and then ran it into the girls' bathroom?
Yeah, don't tell me that thing didn't have a camera on it.
Yeah, I know.
It would have now.
Definitely got a camera on it.
And other slightly older horny boy had a handheld girl rating device.
Yeah, that was weird. Didn't like that.
Different era, I guess, but no.
Also, didn't like the fact that all the girls were complaining about the personal changing rooms being too small, even though they got their own personal changing rooms with mirrors and...
That's because they're so rich and spoiled. I'm not sure this was a good message for children.
The only thing separating them from the main hall was the saloon doors. I feel like...
It's the
I feel
80s.
like
It
I
was
would
designed...
prefer a bit more privacy.
It's the 80s. It was obviously designed by a horny man.
This whole show was designed by a horny man, I think. I think the entire thing was. And it's just like, they're always in bikinis. They're always like nearly naked. All the guys are basically just their embodiments, but like 40 years younger.
Well, this is kind of why I was pressing Jenny on would she have liked it as a 8-9-year-old girl, because it kind of ticks a lot of the same boxes as Gemma the Holograms. You've got crazy hair, you've got cool outfits, you've got...
It does not.
It does not. It doesn't... There's nothing like influential about that. It's nothing like, oh wow, look at that. I want those clothes. Look at that hair. Is it just, these are annoying? Come on, represent womankind. And Jennifer's decided to do this all day.
Yeah, no. I don't like it.
Complaint email to serialviewing@gmail.com if you don't feel Jenny's represented.
This is not the worst cartoon we've watched, but it is the worst cartoon we've watched. And
I'd rather watch Chuck Norris.
Oh, well, yeah, but I would watch an episode of that any time because that was just stupid. That was so bad it was good. This is just bad.
All right, I'd rather watch Wurzel Gummidge.
Whoa. Okay, serious words now. Let's not get carried away. Come on now. Who hurt you, Jenny?
You know, I might actually prefer to watch an episode of Wurzel Gummidge of this, because this had a bad message. It had a bad reason it was created.
Oh yeah, and Wurzel. Yeah, because Wurzel doesn't with the abuse and.
That's the other reason why Wurzel was still bad.
I hate Wurzel Gummidge.
But yeah, I just think this is the message it sends is terrible. Shouldn't show this to your kids. And I'm sorry if you like this as a child, but you're probably spoiled now, or you're probably like have a really
it's okay, so
obscure
there you go.
vision of the world.
You're a child in the late 80s in, I don't know, poverty-racked England. And you've got these teenagers, and you're like, oh wow, I want that. Mummy, can I have a car with ice cream? Like, no, shut up. Smack.
Yeah.
Mummy, I want a children.
If you're in poverty,
I know, I'm just joking.
You've not even got a TV.
All right, you're clustered around all your neighbours. I'm messing around, but yeah.
Even in the late 90s.
Late 90s? You mean late 80s?
80s. I feel like you would have a TV in the late 80s, even like not poverty-stricken, but like not well off.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm really old, but I remember our main TV being about 12 inches wide and black and white. Just saying.
Yeah.
That was in like the 70s, right?
No, that would have been the early 80s.
That would have been the 80s.
Yeah.
We only had, when I was little, we only had one TV. It was black and white. And we didn't get colour till, must have been 81, 82, when they put Star Wars off at Christmas.
Yep.
So you're looking at early 80s then. And we only had one, but we were not poor. We weren't rich, but we weren't poor.
I was trying to explain to someone the other day the sheer wonder and just the oh my godness of the fact that I went camping. Like in the mid to late 80s, we went camping, and one of the families on the campsite had actually brought a television with them. They had a portable TV to watch the Olympics on, and it was just oh my god, you can take it out of the house.
My uncle was only like a few years older than me, so he was a teenager when I was 8 or 9, and his TV in his bedroom was one of those. It was like massive, about this big, had a handle, and the screen was about that big. So, but he could take that around the house or outside. So yeah, but he'd pay for that himself.
It just makes me laugh because I mean, I've got within less than a foot of me, I've got 4 screens of various types and sizes. All of which, well, apart from one, I could take outside. And I just remember being absolutely blown away by a black and white portable television. It's outside. Oh my God, we're at a campsite. Anyway, that's completely irrelevant to everything else. So, Jeremy, I think you've already answered this. Yeah, I think you've already answered this. Would you recommend this to anyone?
Hate it. No. Never. No. This is a terrible show. Like, it's not just because it's not designed for me. It's the fact that it shouldn't be designed for anybody. This is a horrible thing to show your children. And maybe if they're really young, but even then, that's when they're the most impressionable. So if you teach them at an early age that money has no value, they're going to think money has no value.
It's just stuff, man.
And that you should ride a shark to impress girls.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, okay, maybe. But
Jennifer.
You should be a playboy at the age of 16.
An international one.
So I think my last comment in my notes sums how I feel about this. So that's 21 minutes and 53 seconds of my life I will not get back.
Oh, harsh. Well, I loved it. I thought it was great. I found the storyline compelling. The characters were interesting. They were almost Shakespearean in their complexity. No, I can't do it anymore. They were awful. Well, to
what was
count
your last comment?
My last comment was just, is double surfing a thing? Because I'd already lost. I pretty much checked out by that point. I can sum this up. I've already said it in this episode, but my fourth comment was, oh, fuck no. And I think that's that. That was as soon as Jet started speaking, it's like, no.
Well, that's my fourth comment is, what the actual fuck am I watching? Is this a take the piss off a rich Bev? Because I felt that that's what it was. They were taking the piss out of them. It was like some British working class guy had thought, right, let's do a cartoon about Beverly Hills and what whiny little fuckers they are.
So go on, Jeremy, what's your fourth comment?
Why does everyone sound like I want to punch them?
Because you want to punch them.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote so many comments without any context, again, because this was just the show that I can't give context to. So I'd just be asking questions. So, like, I've got, stop kissing him. Ooh, burn. I want that car. Really? Okay, WTF. Triggered. Dipshit.
No. I've got one that just says...
Yes, she has a point.
Go on, dude, you're 16.
Yeah.
So chill out. Okay, so Jennifer.
And then I got one that just written, simp.
So Jennifer, rate this out of 10.
It can have 2 for the car.
Yeah.
I gave it a 1 because it's a thing that exists. Jeremy.
You know what? I'm going to second that. It's a thing that exists, so it gets 1.
So let me just divide that by 3.
Divide that by 3.
That gives it a score of 1.3, which I think is our new lowest score ever. Wurzel Gummidge has been defeated. Well done, Beverly Hills Teens.
We'll see on the card, but I think it might be. Yeah.
I'd still rather watch Wurzel Gummidge than this. I mean, I'd watch this rather than Wurzel Gummidge.
Yeah. You said it.
Yeah.
I did, didn't I?
Watch them side by side and see which one you want to kill yourself more.
Well, see, Wurzel Gummidge, at least I've got that thing I love to hate it. It is so bad I will actually get involved in hating it. This is just... That's
true. Yeah, it riles you up, whereas...
This is just 20 minutes of my life I won't get back again.
Yep.
Do you disagree with this? Were you a fan of Beverly Hills Teens back in the day? Have you checked it out and you disagree with us, or do you agree with us? Please let us know. You can leave a comment on our Instagram page, our Facebook page. There, you can leave us a message on the website. You can leave us a voicemail. As I keep saying, if you leave us a message on the voicemail, you will get on the show. Let us know what you think. Can anyone remember what we're watching next time? It's one of yours, Jeremy.
Give me a hint.
It's an older cartoon. It's a cartoon. There you go, and it's an older one.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah,
it's older.
Yep. This is where Jeremy is desperately tries to remember what he stated. Next week we are watching the American classic, The Jetsons.
Oh yes.
It's one of your choices.
Oh, great.
I love the Jetsons.
Jetsons is going to have such mixed opinions about it.
I don't. Yeah, I remember watching it, but I don't really remember a lot about it.
I've watched it recently, not recently, but like a couple of years ago, and I remember it being quite offensive.
Quite what?
In certain scenes. There's some slightly offensive things in.
It's from the 60s.
Yeah, it's from 60s and 70s.
Obviously, not done the research on it yet. Yeah, so join us for that. I think it's going to be a good one. Jeremy's got to defend it.
No, I think it was the one I hate.
Well, yeah. So if you don't, when we try and pick these, we pick one that we know. We pick 4 episodes each. We pick one we love, one we hate, one we've never heard of, and one we just think is going to be weird to watch. So we shall see. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you, Beverly Hills Teens, for something.
Sucking the will to live.
You bunch of horny rich kids. Bye!
Do 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 do.